If those guards had taken one more step into our yard, they would have regretted challenging the calmest, most dangerous woman they'd ever meet. When the HOA security truck rolled to a stop in front of our house, I didn't think much of it. They usually drove by, wrote pointless warnings, and left. But that day felt different. The two guards didn't stay in the truck. They stepped out, stiff, puffed up, acting like they owned the street. My wife Amina was kneeling by her rose bushes, trimming the branches quietly. She's soft-spoken, gentle, the kind of woman neighbors love. But people who mistake quiet for weakness usually learn the truth the hard way. One of the guards barked, "Ma'am, you're violating HOA landscaping rules. We need to inspect your property." Amina didn't even look up. "You can inspect from the sidewalk." "No," the second guard said, taking a step forward. "We're coming in." They didn't know it yet, but they'd picked the worst possible yard to invade. Amina stood up slowly. No aggression, no rush, just calm. But her voice carried enough authority to freeze both men. "Stop." They halted mid-step. She wiped dirt from her gloves, looked them dead in the eye, and said, "If you cross that line without a warrant or permission, it's trespassing. And I know exactly how to respond, do you?" The taller guard laughed nervously. "Ma'am, don't make this difficult." Amina stepped closer, but her voice dropped into that tone. The tone I'd only heard her use in her old job. A job she never bragged about. A job only a handful of people knew she had. "Before you take one more step," she said, "ask your supervisor why. I used to train federal responders on boundary and entry protocols." Both guards blinked. She continued, "And ask why those same protocols don't allow you to walk into a civilian's yard unless there's immediate danger, suspected crime, or explicit consent." Silence. Then she calmly added, "And right now, you're violating 3 separate guidelines your department signed in January. Shall I list them?" The guards' faces drained. They stepped back. One muttered, "We didn't know." Amina smiled, not cruel, just firm. "Learn the rules you enforce. It protects you more than it protects me." Within seconds, they retreated to their truck. By the time their supervisor arrived an hour later, they had already reported themselves. I walked over to Amina and said, "Remind me never to argue with you." She laughed softly. "You don't scare me. People who break rules out of ignorance worry me more. And that's how my quiet, garden-loving wife made 2 HOA guards retreat, using nothing but intelligence, calm authority, and the truth. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and share. It really supports the channel and helps us bring more dramatic, emotional stories to you every day.